A lot of people think they got to lose for you to win. Like, everyone always thinks when you're making a deal, like, someone's losing here.
Business is high stakes gambling, right? If I'm going to go gamble and I'm going to take my money and I'm going to throw my money out there, right? I want the money to come back in return. So the only way to really do that is.
So I'm sitting here with Victor Rancour. You know, he has had the up success. You've been down. You've seen it all. And I call you a friend, right? Because I love a comeback story. I know. I want to talk to you about a few things today, Victor. You know, you've been in my home. You've been around my children. I can only look at the way you treated me. You've had a rocky road to get to the success where you're at, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about, you've been clean and sober, I think, for what, 120 days now, 150?
Yeah.
Can you just talk about some of the challenges and how hard it is to the viewers? Because you're living proof that, man, you can fuck up, come back, but you really got to limit the mess ups and really keep pushing forward. Can you talk about that? Because you got a hell of a success story, and you've done. I say this to anyone: there's no better operator, no better man I've met than you when you're clean.
No,
and that's just a fact.
And that, at the end of the day, man, it comes down to really understanding what your goals in life are, right? And I think that, and we never talk about this, but post-sale depression too. So I sold my business last year, and now it's my baby. And all of a sudden, I went from having my baby and being in a business and operating every day. And I had some really bad post-sale depression that I went through. And I got myself into a pretty dark place and was partying like crazy, not focusing on what mattered. And I think that, you know, I had kind of an awakening moment where I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? I have all the opportunity in the world. I have all these amazing things going on. All these people want me to win. And I'm over here squandering it, right? There's so many people that would wish to be in my shoes, and I'm over here throwing it away. And I think that was kind of what kind of woke up. And then I really looked, like you say, Lance, like, why not me? And I look at all these people that had all the success, and I know that the talent that I have, and I haven't been able to see the success that some of those guys have had because I've held myself back. And so I wanted to make sure that I don't do that anymore, and that's kind of why it drives me every day.
You know, it's funny because I asked Victor, you know, to come here because Victor's been nothing but good to me and my team, and we've been friends. Like, I consider you a close friend. You've been very good to me, right? I can only look at the body of work you've done to me. And I think your story's a story most people can relate to, just in life. Forget the trades. Like, just, you've owned multiple companies, you sold, you've given more than you've got to the trades, and that's a fact. You've given more than you got. Can you talk about what's next? And now I want to talk to you about some of the things you spoke about, budget and stuff like that. What's next for Victor? Because you're doing some amazing things right now, and you seem very focused. This is the sharpest Victor I've been around. I've known you for about, 7 years now?
Yeah, it's a long time.
And this is the sharpest Victor I know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's really kind of really building my name back up and putting myself in a position where I, like Lance, right, buying and partnering and growing these businesses. And now I'm starting to, you know, I'm really starting to invest in a lot of companies, and I got a couple of different software things like that I'm involved in. But the main thing is finding good people and helping them get where they want to be. And I think that if I can go find a good operator that really wants to grow, maybe needs direction, that's what I'm doing now. And HVAC is my space, and I don't know roofing, and I don't plan on doing the roofing because I know HVAC, and I know how to grow these businesses. And so I'm trying to find great other entrepreneurs that really want to grow, that need guidance, and that's kind of where I'm at now. It's like, try to help these guys become millionaires, become successful. Because if you help somebody else become successful, therefore you will become successful yourself.
Yeah, let's talk about that. A lot of people think they got to lose for you to win. Like, everyone always thinks when you're making a deal, like, someone's losing here. They don't understand. Both people can win, right? Both people can win. Can you talk about that mindset?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've had competitors in the past, right? And when I first started my business, I was 30 years old. I was ego like crazy, right? And I talk about, you know, there's another guy in my market named Ishmael, right? And he's growing a business at the same time. And both of us want to just kill each other. We're trying to recruit employees. We're fucking throwing money at each other. We're talking shit about each other. And at the end of the day, we really weren't even competition with each other. We were in competition with ourselves. And I think that's one of the things that I look back in business that I wish I never did. Because, you know what, we both could have grown great business. We both could have been successful. We both damaged each other because of our egos and how we wanted to operate. So I think that, no, 100%. And I want everybody to win, because at the end of the day, everybody brings the industry up. The better everybody gets. And I think I've been probably one of the most open books, just like you are. I give people everything. Everything that I do, I'll tell them. Because at the end of the day, if I can get my competitors to get better, it's going to allow us to bring the entire industry up.
You talked about budget. Most people don't have budgets. Why are budgets so important? I mean, like, you say, hey, what's your budget to, what, 95% of people don't have a budget?
And it's a roadmap, right? At the end of the day, you have to have directions of where you're going. And if you have those directions, it's easier to get. You're going to be able to get to your destination. Right now, without direction, you can't get to your destination. And I talk about back when I first ran my business, I had no budget. I just like, oh, I feel like we should spend this, or I feel like this is doing well, or I feel that we can go spend this money today. And what happens is you put yourself in a position where you're not paying attention to the cash, you're not paying attention to, you know, what's going in and what's going out. and you can really put yourself in a bad position. So, the budget is key, and obviously making sure you're actually hitting the budget numbers, because those one little percentage point, 2 percentage points on millions of dollars is a lot of freaking money.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Service Titan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business, and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business so when they want to sell it, they're able to. You talked about real leads. Talk to me more about that. Most people don't understand the difference between a lead and a real lead.
Well, at the end of the day, I look at, I don't even call them leads. I call how many booked appointments are they actually getting. And what I mean by that is a lead is one thing, right? A lead comes in, I got a name, email, phone number. Well, I can't get a hold of the guy, he's not answering, or, hey, every time I run a lead, this type of lead, they get credit declined. Okay, so is that really successful? So I look at, hey, okay, how are we booking the call, and how successful are we actually in converting those leads? So you might be able to, you get all these Facebook leads for $10, $20. You're like, man, I'm getting all these great leads. But at the end of the day, it takes you $300 to even get a customer to say yes, and that customer's still not the ideal customer that you want. Or I can go get a Google lead or a mailer lead that's, might be $100, $200, but that one has a far better success rate. So you really have to track and see what's happening with the lead. Where did it come from? Which ones are successful, and double down on them.
Dispatch for dollars. Talk about that. And I got one last question. I know you're busy, but talk about dispatch for dollars.
So, I was telling earlier, right? Business is high stakes gambling, right? And if I'm going to go gamble and I'm going to take my money and I'm going to throw my money out there, right? I'm going to throw my money out there. I want the money to come back in return. So the only way to really do that is to really dispatch and send the best guy to the best opportunity, because I want to have the highest success rate of that coming back. Now, if I take my best guy and I put him on, 1-year-old tune-ups or these shitty calls all day long and he's not converting them, the business is going to struggle, right? So I want to put my best guy on the best opportunity. And keep in mind, you have to also pay attention, because not every single day that guy's going to be your best guy. Some guys will be like, he's been my guy, the best guy forever, but you don't realize his numbers actually aren't even stacking up. You just keep giving him all the best leads. So really track and see who the best guy is, track the numbers, and put the best guy on the call, create a batting order, and the batting order should be living and breathing. Hey, what was his numbers last month? And I want to make sure that we're sticking with the best guy today, not just the best guy that we feel is the best.
Listen, I know one thing for sure, like everyone else that's been through this, you thought about quitting. Can you talk to me about a time where you thought about quitting? You're like, thank God I didn't quit, I'm still here.
I've gone through a lot of weird financial situations where, obviously I did want to quit. I wanted to make it easy. I wanted to go back to the easy life, and shit, I was a sales guy and I made a lot of fucking money, right? So I remember when I first started my business and I went from making $500,000 a year selling air conditioning to now I don't have an income, but I still had a Mercedes, I still had a house, I had nice appetite for stuff, and I didn't have the money I was making before. And I remember I was probably about 3 months in, and I started my HVAC business at the worst time of year you could possibly start. I started at the end of summer. So normally you want to start an HVAC business at the beginning of summer, you make a bunch of cash, but I literally had no idea I didn't plan on starting it, quit my job, now I have a business. We had money for the first 30 days, and then the calls fell off. We had no leads, and I'm like, shit, maybe I should just pack it up. I should go back, go work for somebody, go do this. And I remember sitting there long nights, like I've had plenty of nights, crying myself to sleep, really thought I was going to be bankrupt, things along those lines. And I literally said, if I give up now, I'll give up on everything going forward. And I've never been someone to give up on anything.
Well, Victor, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you being here. I hope you know how much I care about you, love you.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see the end story for you, because I have a funny feeling you're going to prove a lot of people wrong.
And I don't want to prove anybody but wrong with that's not really my goal. My idea is just try to be the best version of me. But I do want to say, obviously coming here to the Roofing Process Conference, I didn't know what to walk in and on, but I do know Lance. I always know Lance is going to do things top shelf. And this event has been amazing. This location is freaking awesome. The people that are here, the vendors are literally getting so much foot traffic. It's insane. Like most vendors, they go to the events and they put them in the corner and they don't ever get anything. He's made sure the vendors are happy. Like everybody I walk around is impressed by everything. So if you guys are thinking about coming to this event ever or next year, don't hesitate, man. It's worth the money. So far the content has been awesome. Like it's been, you look on the stage, you got guys that are $500 million a year. Like it's freaking insane. And then the knowledge and then just the people here, the environment's great. So Lance, you put on a great event. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be your friend. I'm excited to see what happens with you guys as well. So.